Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I'm going to go over your week 2 work. I hope you're getting used to the class by now. After week 1, kind of getting an idea of how things need to be done as far as posting and submitting work, and just kind of the flow of the class. I know there's a little adjustment period there, so hopefully everyone's feeling comfortable. And I have gotten some questions from students. Or some comments. So I feel like communication's going well. So I just want to go over your week 2 discussion and your assignment. So let me get there. Okay. For your discussion assignment, you are actually playing a kind of a role where you have to choose, or you have to kind of solve a problem. This assignment really involves the American Disability Act, or also known as ADA, and we need to kind of look at a situation where you have a great candidate, but you have a building that doesn't accommodate the candidate, and we need to try to find out ways that this problem can be solved. Well, really, first we need to determine whether it can be, and if so, how. So what I want you to do, and what you're going to be doing for this assignment, is kind of doing some research on the Act and what it entails, and kind of the rules for the law. Excuse me, what does a business have to do to accommodate employees that may have some type of disability? Where are the limitations? Where's the line drawn, in other words? And what you want to do is look at this case and kind of consider, cost does matter, and it's, if you have this is kind of seems like a smaller business, you have to think about what the resources of the business are, and then and what you can do to solve the issue. I mean, you could find that you have a solution that really doesn't even cost that much money. So you want to think through this. I don't want to give too much away, but you want to think of, I would just say that you can think of things that, for the physical space, is there a way to accommodate this employee? Is there technology that can help this employee? So I just kind of think about help this employee be able to do the job, without causing an undue hardship on the business, but allowing the employee to be a productive member, employees, a part of the staff of this accounting firm. So anyway, as you write this out, I just want to kind of talk about some of the things I'm seeing on the discussion post. Make sure that you click on this rubric right here when you're doing your assignment. I just want to make sure everyone gets a maximum grade on their discussion posts. When you're doing the assignment and writing it out, I would highly recommend that you pull this up while you're doing so. And I think it's just a great thing to do, to have this out while you're kind of going through each point of your assignment. You're writing everything out. And I would just, you want to meet these guidelines right here. You really want to stick to, use this as a checklist. Write your assignment. Use your sources. And as far as sources, make sure that you're using credible sources. Don't use about.com. Don't use eHow. Don't use Wikipedia. The best thing you can do is go to the South University library and do research there. Or you can locate sometimes, journal articles on Google Scholar. You could try that, but you really want to use credible sources. And you will be going to the EEOC.gov site. I know to research this, but you might find some interesting articles outside of that, and that's fine. Obviously, you're going to use your text, but I just want to kind of keep it, you want to keep your sources to be credible. There are publications that are obviously credible out as well. Like, I mean, we use them in the business. You've probably seen them on some other classes, Forbes and Business Week, and things that are, written publications that are vetted, that are, checked for reliability and checked for accuracy. So you want to use those kind of sources. But anyway, going back to my point, when you're writing out your post, just make sure you're meeting each one of these, and not just your post, but your responses. One of the most common issues I see in responses is just that they're not, they're not substantive enough. And I've noticed a tendency for students to post several short responses, and not, like they go over the two post requirement, but I'm looking for quality over quantity here. I'm looking for a post that really talks about the topic and it furthers the discussion with other students or myself. Just really want to see those, just focus on those two, detailed, substantive responses. And then one to me, usually I'm going to post a comment for everything for every student's post. So you can see here though that even if you do that, two or more classmates, you get these points. But if you comment to two or more classmates' initial post and my post, then you get this area of points here. Now it says 18 to 20. Obviously, if you're the two or more, you're probably going to get that 20-point score here. So there's a tiny little range there. It gives you leeway for students that really go way above and beyond. So I just want you to kind of be aware of that. And this gets confusing because it's going to be a student. If you post two responses and one to me, you're going to get in this box, but you'll probably get 18. And students that are going to respond to maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 students and me they're going to get that 20 points right here. So just to kind of clarify it a little bit better for you, as far as the frequency, of course. It's not that black and white. If the responses aren't very detailed, then if they're not meaningful, then you're not going to get that maximum point either. So just read all of these, kind of say, okay, I did this, just check them off in your head. When you're done with your post, you're getting ready, you're going to post it. I don't know if you write it in Word or copy and paste, some people do, or write in the board, but just kind of have this up right here, this sheet, and say, kind of check off what you need to do, and that you've met all of the criteria on here. So, and of course, proofread carefully. Make sure your APA style is correct. Make sure you have in-text citations. Make sure you have a reference list. I know I'm going over this in a little bit more detail, but I just want to make sure that you understand kind of what you need to be doing. So, sorry, there goes my screen. Okay, and for your assignment this week, got another situation. This is obviously a paper. So when you write papers, you want to make sure to do it, write in APA style. And what I mean by that is, you have a title page, you have, you're writing in essay format, you have paragraphs that are indented, you have double spacing, you're citing your references, you're using in-text citations, you're using page numbers, all of the whole 9 yards there. So I really want to see you do that, and absolutely, please, by all means, use this wonderful resource that we have here at South for APA style, which I think it's great, and it's so detailed, and it even gives you a sample paper. And just make sure that you're utilizing this resource whenever you're writing papers. Here's a sample APA paper right here. It really breaks it down to each section. You can actually click there and download it. I would recommend that you do that. it's you know, it's been shortened to highlight all the details, but this is a great model to use. Use this to model after your papers. When you're writing an assignment, this is the model you want to use as far as the way it should be, the style of it, the format. See that in-text citation up there? Right there? They're just, this is, exactly the model you want to follow. Each section has like a header here. Now this is obviously a very long paper. We're not going to have, your assignment this week isn't going to be this long, but look at this reference list. This is a perfectly formatted reference list. Just like that. So I highly recommend that you take some time and look at that. It's great. It's just, it really lays it out for you. So anyway, as far as how, your work should be formatted. Okay, so let me go back. Sorry, there's a train in the background. I live right by a train. So anyway, let me go back here to the assignment. It's about Bob and Mary. And so basically this is a situation that you have to kind of analyze using the Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and 1991 and talk about what type of sexual harassment Mary is experiencing. And then you have to think about, from an HR standpoint, what are the obligations of HR according to this legislation about sexual harassment. Discuss the likelihood that Bob would be found guilty of sexually harassing Mary. So tell me, what your view is and why. If the HR manager investigates and finds Mary is telling the truth, what should she do to handle the situation so that the company is not found complicit by the EEOC if further complaint is made? If found in Mary's favor, what options does the HR manager have to remedy the situation? So, after reading the details of the case, which I'm not going to go and read it over for you right now, but I'm just kind of want to give you some pointers. You're going to obviously go to the EEOC.gov site, and you're going to really read about sexual harassment and what are the laws and what is the protocol for someone that reports that. Because really that's the key. Once it is reported, there are steps. There's a procedure to go through, and HR is involved in that. And this is what you really want to talk about. So just without telling you too much, you want to make sure that you will use that as a source. I'm pretty sure, in your text. And any other, anything that you can find in the South University, I would definitely look in the library and see if you can find articles on the, EEOC or this sexual harassment laws and kind of anything about, the process there. But I know that you will get a great deal of information about really what is required, what is the actual protocol for that, if someone reports it, because there is a series of steps that you would take and that HR has to take. And if what HR would have to do if there is a legitimate case and Mary is her complaint is definitely legitimate, there's going to be some things that have to happen after that. What are those things? So when you're doing this paper, this one doesn't have an extended rubric on it like your discussion post does, and there are other assignments that actually do in this class, but this one does not. So this is kind of what we're following here. So when you're writing out your paper, you want to talk about, it really does tell you, discuss, research in the 2 basic types of sexual harassment. What are they? You want to obviously explain what they are, describe them, maybe even give an example of each. Understood the obligations of the HR department under the law to perform an investigation into this matter. And you're going to read about that in the EEOC information. You're going to see what is the role of HR in this whole process once a complaint is reported. Then you're going to it says critically evaluate the potential for finding in Mary's favor on the complaint. You want to kind of you're obviously going to make a judgment on this based on what you know as far as, do you think Mary's claim's valid or not, and if not, why? And then of course, APA format, which I just kind of talked about, spelling, grammar. I know this is nitpicky, but the most common problem I see is just students not being able to, not using commas where they need to be. But we are kind of this is a writing intensive class, so I kind of have to point these things out as far as you should be definitely checking for that and making sure that you're using proper punctuation in your papers and discussion posts. And of course, APA style. So that's about it, really. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I'll be happy to help you. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, I'll be happy to help you. There are no stupid questions. There's no anything's game. You can also, just so you know, you can text me, you can call me. I stay up late grading quite frequently. I've had students contact me, later in the evening. It's fine with me, honestly. I'm a night owl, so it doesn't bother me at all. It never has. So just, if you find yourself working on an assignment at night and you get stuck, just, text me or call me, and I'll be happy. I mean, of course, email me too if you want, but you can see my contact hours, but often I'm up later than that. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. I don't want anyone to be shy. I've always been this way with courses. I just usually work at night. So anyway, that is pretty much it. So I'm looking forward to reading your assignments and your posts this week. And I hope you all have a great week. Thank you.